Now, we've also seen moments, as fans, as coaches, even as players on the court where, you can see the referee may make a call, but then another ref may come along and seems like it's a dispute. So have you had moments where referees, may disagree on a call, and, how do you resolve this problem?
Well, as referees, what we want to do is we want to get the call right. Player gets a rebound under their own basket, and they're pump faking. They go up for a shot and they get fouled. You've got two whistles on the call. One official's got a foul, the other official's got a foot shuffle on a walk.
Okay.
Well, the walk happened before the foul, so the officials there again will get together. What did you see? Well, I had a foul. Well, I had a walk prior to the foul. The walk happened first. We're going with a walk. So usually when there's a simultaneous whistles, or if there's a difference of opinion, officials will come together and discuss it. Discussions during the game do happen, and our goal is to get the call right. If it means reversing a call, if it means a crew chief coming in and overruling, we do whatever we need to do to get the call right most of the time.
Okay. And in another sense, there may be times that the coach or the player may feel that the ref made a bad call. So, if they come to you and say, well, what about this? How do you resolve a situation like that?
Well, to be honest with you, players, sometimes they'll show a little frustration, but really don't have players come to us very often. Every once in a while they do. I had one the other night. He was asking me about a foul call I made on his teammate. And to be honest with you, as soon as I blew the whistle, I wished I hadn't have blown it, because on reflection, I think the defensive player was in a legal guard position, and I didn't give him what they call verticality. He went straight up, there was contact. I called a foul on him. As soon as I blew the whistle, I wished I hadn't, but that happens sometimes. One of his teammates came to me. He said, it looked like he went straight up. And I agreed with the young man. I said, listen, as soon as I blew the whistle, I wish I could have had it back. And he laughed, and he was cool with it. So I want players to understand, and I can tell if a player just truly doesn't understand what happened. I like to explain it, because just like with this interview, I want people to know basketball. I want them to know the rules. I want them to know why we did what we did and made the call that we made.
Are you saying, though, that once the whistle is blown on a call, you can't take it back?
We will change a call from time to time. It's rare, but it does happen.
Okay.
Everybody's not going to agree with every call, especially coaches, and we're not going to get every call correct. There again, just like players miss layups, players miss dunks, players miss free throws, referees miss calls, and that's the nature of the game. We just try to get it as right as we can, as often as we can.
That's right.
Coaches will ask us about a call, and there again, if it's during a live ball situation and we can't stop and address it at that time, if I get an opportunity to, I will address it, especially if the coach comes to us in a reasonable manner. Every once in a while, a coach will get kind of crazy man on us or crazy lady on us, and then we got to let them kind of simmer down before we talk to them. But I have a lot of respect for coaches, and I understand the challenge that they have, and I think most of them understand the challenge that we have. And we go through the game. We try to keep everything is on par as best we can, and I enjoy the interaction with the coaches. So we try to do that as best we can, and it's all good.
What do you enjoy most about refereeing?
Well, I don't think this is in any particular order. Well, I would have to say that the number one thing I enjoy is the challenge. Every referee in the association strives to call the perfect game. Now, do we ever achieve our goal? I would say no, we do not, but it's fun trying to achieve that goal. I love that challenge. I mean, we, just like players and coaches get amped up for a game, as officials, we're the same way. We're in the locker room beforehand having a pregame, talking about what we're going to do and how we're going to call the game, and talking about points of emphasis. And it's just a lot of fun. Our partners that we have are all good guys. I enjoy spending time with them. I like the association. It's like a fraternity. We We spend time together off the court. It's really like having our own basketball team. We just happen to wear stripes instead of jerseys with numbers. The other thing I enjoy is the interaction with the players and the coaches and the fans. Ebony, I know when you played basketball, after a game, you walked off the floor. Nobody had to tell Ebony what kind of a game she had. Ebony knew if she was on her A game, if she was okay, or if she was really bad that night. And when we come off the floor as officials, we have the same feeling. Nobody needs to tell us what kind of game we had. We are very real with ourselves. We walk off the floor and we know we nailed it. Hey, we did good. We did all right. You know, we kind of screwed the pooch tonight. So, you know, every once in a while you'll have a game like that, just like players have bad nights, just like coaches have bad nights. Every once in a while, us officials, you come through a work day, you go to a gym, you've already done maybe a couple of games before that. Now you're on a varsity game, varsity boys game. It's fast-paced, and it can be a challenge, but we step up to that challenge. We pride ourselves in trying to get it right every time. So the challenge of it, the interaction with the players, the coaches, and the fans, the interaction with your partners and with the association. When I walk in, I'm getting in the zone. I'm getting myself mentally prepared. I want to call a good game, and that's what it's all about.
I mean, how tough is it, though, knowing that a lot of the fans, sometimes the coaches or even the players, you know, can treat you all so, you know, you are the infamous referee. Some people are like, we hate the refs, or we don't like that ref. You know, what does that make you feel like when you know that you love what you do so much?
Well, Ebony, if you have thin skin, you probably need to find another hobby. Being a referee is not for anyone with thin skin, and I know that I'm just 3 weeks shy of 60 years old, and at my age, my skin is a little thicker than it would have been, say, if I'd started refereeing when I was 30 or in my 20s or maybe even in my 40s. You know, I've raised kids. I know what that can be like. You know, I'm married, so I know what it's like to have a partner there. You don't always agree on everything. You can't have rabbit ears as a referee. You know, when we're in the zone and we're moving up and down the court, a lot of the things that people are saying and yelling, we're not really paying any attention to. We're not hearing because we're zoned in on the game. And, you know, if you make the correct call and somebody disagrees with it, that's on them. If you make an incorrect call and somebody moans and groans about it, then, yeah, I'm going to try to do better. And that's why we're here. We're trying to get better. Now, but you can't have thin skin. You can't have rabbit ears. You just go out there and do your job, and hopefully it all works out. And 99% of the time it does. It's all good, really.
Okay.
Light as a rock, or I should say a boulder, rolling down your neck, pounding on your shoulders. Never shall I be an MC called a wannabe. I am the light, L-Y-T-E. This is the way it is. Don't ever